August 2023. So on August 27th, we have Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, even our anger, moving out of the Virgo energy and moving into the Libran energy. Okay, so Mars in Virgo energy, you may not feel like you accomplished much, but trust me, you have. You've identified the problems in your life, the areas of concern, the areas that you need to kind of fix, resolve, and heal. Now, granted, there hasn't been a lot of opportunity to take many big steps moving forward, but this isn't about moving forward as much as it is addressing and resolving elements of the past. Mars in this Virgo energy, low, slow, logical, practical. We weren't exerting any kind of energy if it didn't make sense to do so. We weren't just taking action and making moves willy-nilly. Everything was super calculated, super strategic, and therefore there was likely more resolution inside of us than there was in our physical realms. Now, with Mars moving into Libran energy, first of all, he's not happy here. Secondly, we are definitely going to take on a different vibe. Let's unpack it. Libran energy is an air energy. It's an air energy very focused on relationships, on peace, on harmony, on balance, on acceptance, on fairness, on justice. Problem is that we tend to be on the fence about a lot of things, very indecisive in this Libran energy. Mars is in his fall in Libran energy. He rules over the Aries energy that sits across from and directly opposes the Libran energy. Mars is the masculine energy used to the Aries energy that is his rulership. Venus is the feminine energy who rules over the Libran energy. So we have Mars, the masculine energy, in Venus's home, in Venus's domicile, in Venus's rulership. So the vibes are already very conflicting. On top of that, Mars prefers to take action and deal with the consequences later. He's very aggressive. He likes to assert himself on the path needed in order to fix and solve and resolve some of those issues in order for him to actually pursue a path of happiness and passion and of his desires. The Libran energy loves love, but is so indecisive on how it is that we are supposed to move forward that not a whole lot of physical action actually gets kind of brought into this physical realm. A lot of it is talk, a lot of it is chatter, a lot of it is conversation. Mars has to turn in his weapon of choice, which is that magical sword that he uses to kind of cut through the ties, the cords of the past, and cut through and cut down any obstacles that may stand in his way for moving forward. He's trading in his weapon of choice, the sword, for charm, for wit, for intelligence, for negotiating, for compromising. It is not the best place for Mars to be in. He doesn't really accomplish as much as he would prefer in our physical realms because it very much is an inner realm struggle, an inner realm battlefield. Now, we are very, very open to being able to kind of charm and manipulate our way through conversations, through situations and circumstances that will put us in an advantage. However, we want to be fair. And that is kind of the reason why we sit on the fence of indecision, because a lot of the things that we want to do right now aren't fair. They're either not fair to us or they're not fair to someone else. And because Libran energy, very focused on relationships, because Venus, the goddess of relationships and worth and value and money, who rules over this Libran energy, is still retrograde, still in the dark pit, still climbing her ass out of that dark pit. She has had a change of heart, especially where relationships are concerned. And Mars is here to kind of, I'm going to say, aggress himself in a conversation in the intellectual battlefield to see if we can come to some sort of decision, resolution. The energy here is that we really don't want to be the bad guy, but somebody has to be the bad guy. Mars, typically speaking, doesn't care if he's the bad guy or not, but now in this Libran energy, he's all self-conscious. He really doesn't want to rock the boat. He wants everybody to be happy, he wants everybody to get along, because that's just the natural disposition of Libran energy. But when it comes to, trying to win arguments or trying to push ourselves in the right path, in the right direction, sometimes that means that we have to opt to be the bad guy in somebody else's story. And because we're kind of passive aggressive in this energy, it can very much feel like we are dimming our light, like we are putting our own wants, needs, and desires on the back burner for the sake of the team, of the partnership, of the unit. And that doesn't feel good to Mars at all. Part of this Libran energy is recognizing where it is that we're too self-sacrificial, where we're too I'm going to say strong in the people-pleasing department and not strong enough to stand on our own 2 feet and really do what we have to do for ourselves. And so that is obviously going to be a huge conflict, a huge struggle that we are going to kind of face while Mars moves through this Libran energy. And we are really wanting to fix the problems and resolve them. But most of the time, it comes at a great cost to us, to ourselves, to our own wants, needs, and desires. So what we have to kind of keep in the back of our minds is that Mars is still a warrior. And on the greater, grander stage, we're likely going to see a lot of social justice focus because we're looking for fairness. We're looking for justice to be served. In our inner realm, we're going to have to really strive for that same kind of justice for ourselves. Now, the Libran energy loves collaborating, loves pairing up, loves partnerships in order to accomplish a certain goal. And right now, there is an opportunity to do that if you see that taking place in your life. But realistically, we really need to be focusing in on the relationship with thyself. Mars, he's ruling over this North Node in Aries for the next 18 months, pushing us to be more independent, pushing us to free ourselves from the relationship dynamics that constantly put us in a situation where we're putting ourselves on a back burner in order to make other people happy. And so as Mars moves through this Libran energy, first of all, Libran energy wants to achieve balance, but most times we achieve that balance at the very end of the season because we have to explore the extremes in order for us to even understand what balance would look like. So if you have issues of the heart, which most of us do right now with Venus coming, out of that dark pit and preparing to go direct, if you have matters of the heart, this is going to be a great time to kind of have those tough love conversations, to clear the air, to kind of fight for what is fair, fight for a compromise, fight for reconciliation if need be. If you have money matters, this is going to be a great energy for you to kind of attack that problem, sort it out, see both sides of the coin, see different possibilities and alternatives that may or may not help you get out of the financial situation that you're looking to get out of or put you in a financial situation that you're looking to get into. And if you have any kind of legalities going on right now, any kind of legal work, this is going to be a very interesting time to see where it is that you have to stand up for yourself, advocate for yourself. And really, although you want to reach a compromise in these negotiations, you have to be doing what is going to put you in a better position. So we're going to have all kinds of topics and themes, but also just keep in mind that we will be seeing Mars move into his rulership in Scorpio in October. So therefore, whatever it is that we're experiencing with Mars being in Libran energy, we are definitely going to see the major change, the major transformation in our physical realms due to what it is that we're thinking about, what it is that we're talking about, what it is that we're negotiating or compromising. We will see that come to life where major changes and transformations are going to take place once Mars actually moves into his rulership in that Scorpio energy mid-October. So be patient with yourself. That anger is definitely going to peak more so than normal, and we're going to go to greater lengths to try and keep that anger suppressed. Libran energy wears a beautiful mask. It would prefer to stay in the shallow end of our emotions. We could be dying inside and still have a happy-go-lucky face for the outside world. So where Mars is a little bit edgy, a little bit aggressive, a little bit conflicted, there is going to need to be an extra effort in order to keep those emotional scales balanced so that we can wear that mask and hide the bulk of our aggression. So take a look in your chart, see where the Libran energy rules. That's where Mars is going to be transiting. It's a very good indicator on what area of your life this is going to impact the most. And of course, if you have any natal planets in that Libran energy or in the Aries energy, you're definitely going to want to pay attention, because there's going to be an extra intensity, an extra focus, if you will, on those particular sections of your life.